Hey everyone, it's Sandra here again for another great wellness topic. So today I wanted to talk about the winter blues. So it is dead of winter, and if you're in Michigan like me, it's freezing, it's snowy out, it's not usually very sunny out. So this is something that can impact all of us during this time of year. So I wanted to address it and give you some thoughts on how you can kind of lessen the impacts of the winter blues. So there is, a true such thing as the winter blues. It's basically a form of depression during the winter months. Kind of an elevated form of that is an actual disorder called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD is the acronym, which is just that, SAD. So that's just kind of all of those same, winter blues might be some mild symptoms of depression. SAD kind of is everything just a little bit more amplified. So it's a similar symptoms that you might experience or somebody might experience with depression. It's, just kind of loss of interest in things that you're normally very interested in, have a hard time just doing your normal day-to-day things, getting out of bed, all of those kinds of things, but it is specific to the winter months. And what kind of gets us during the winter is that we don't have nearly as much sun. So the sun rises much later in the morning, goes down much earlier in the evening. So, if you're in Michigan, the sun might not come up till after 8 on the shortest days, and it's down by like 5 p.m. So, and many of those hours, if not all or more of those hours, you're probably at work sitting inside. So it really does have an impact on us. And what really happens is your brain is having to work kind of overtime to create more melatonin. So melatonin is the hormone that kind of regulates our internal body clock, or our timing, or circadian rhythms, all that kind of stuff. So when we don't have the amount of sunlight that we're used to, then that's what happens. That really impacts us. And when that melatonin is out of whack, that's what causes depression. There's been a link to that. So that's that's kind of where it comes from. And unfortunately, the further you are from the equator, like us here in Michigan, the worse it is. So, if you're maybe down in Florida or something like that, it's not as bad. I actually saw a statistic. Less than 1% of people in Florida are affected by the winter blues or SAD. And nearly half of people in like the northern United States are affected by it every winter. So I think it's really important to be conscious of it for yourself and those around you, and then also to know how you can address it. So the biggest way to address it is to get more exposure to sunlight. So especially, like I said, if you're here in Michigan, it's very hard to come by. So you really have to take advantage of it when the sun comes out. So get out there, go for a short walk, even on days where it might be only 10 degrees out. Bundle up, get your scarf, your, earmuffs, all of that stuff, your gloves, and just get out there and get some sunlight in. So that's going to be really important. It's not the same effect just sitting like inside next to a window. It's, really having that direct sunlight. So keep that in mind and really try to take advantage of that as much as possible. You can also use a light box. I know we've had some of those in the office before. Those have had, some success for some people. So I feel like it's worth a try, especially, when we've got just a lot of gloomy days in a row. Another thing to try, and I had never heard of this until I was doing some research for this topic, but it's called a dawn simulator. So it's basically something that will gradually over time brighten your room, and you kind of set the time and how you want it to go to simulate the sun coming up, so that it feels a little more natural to your body to be waking up. So naturally, maybe we don't want to be waking up at 6 a.m. when the sun doesn't really rise until maybe 8 a.m. So this kind of helps a little bit with that process. So I thought that was kind of an interesting one. Another really great way to help with the winter blues is to eat a little healthier. So if you are really loading up on the unhealthy carbs, processed carbs, a lot of sugar, I know that's like a lot of our comfort foods in the winter, but that's really not doing our bodies any favors. It really affects your mood quite a bit, and it can lead to anxiety and depression. So really watch your diet, especially this time of year. Exercise. So when we talked about the benefits of exercise, we did talk about this. It does help with our mental health. It helps with depression. So get out there, walk a little bit. Like I said, on those rare sunny days that we have in the winter, go out for a walk. If you can, even get to the gym, get that exercise in, that's really going to be beneficial. Music. So some upbeat music playing, around you during the day, or, when you're working out. I know a lot of people like to listen to music, but even just kind of during the day while you're working and stuff, some music can be very helpful. Helping others. So doing good for others, volunteering somewhere, wherever it might be, that really helps our mental health quite a bit. Just that idea of knowing that you are helping somebody else makes you feel better. And then the last tip that I have for you, my personal favorite, is leave the winter weather. Go on vacation somewhere during the winter months. Whether it's going further south, go to the Caribbean, go to Florida, wherever you want to go, somewhere that has some nicer weather, a little bit warmer, a lot more sun, and that will definitely help your mood and help your overall mental health. Come back to work all nice and refreshed. So those are just a few tips that I have for you. I would love for everyone to comment on this activity and share your thoughts on the winter blues, how it impacts you, and more importantly, how you kind of get over it and how you can help with those symptoms. So comment below and share. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.